Hello YouTube, hello Twitch, welcome back to the channel with a new crazy ship in World of Warships. The upcoming Chateaurenault is coming into the research bureau soon for 62,000 research points. Now, I've played this ship already 2 or 3 battles now to get a little hang of it, and I must say, it's kind of a pretty crazy boat. I do start to like it quite a lot, and I think it's fairly decent, but for now we're gonna go over the stats for you so you have an idea. So basically what we have here is probably like the closest to a lag mod clip here. We have an insane HP pool of 32,350, which is a lot for Destroyer. We get 3 guns, 105mm, so pretty small. Decent reload, however, the alpha on the HE is pretty bad. And you have only 5% fire chance. However, still okay-ish. The gun performance is not as bad as I thought it would be, so alright. The AP is pretty decent, but keep in mind it only works on flat angles, otherwise you will ricochet. When it comes to now the hidden gem of the ship, we'll have the torpedo launchers. And let me tell you, how do I remove and quickly need to go out of here so I can show it to better. The torpedo angles on this boat are absolutely crazy. You can nearly launch your torpedoes fully forward. Like, there's just a little spread you will see in a bit when we go in-game. So you can YOLO people around corners really well with this boat, or in general charge with them, as you have 12 torpedoes to spare. Now, you would think with these angles like this, you would only launch forward. No, you can also launch pretty far backwards, giving you insanely good torpedo angles. Now, the torpedoes itself have 90 seconds reload. 20 cam range, yes, 20 cam range. However, they work like the Khazar torpedoes. So, up to 8 cam, you do the full 19,500 damage, and then it gradually drops. So, on 20 cam, I don't know what's the lowest damage, but on 20 km they're probably gonna do something like 6k damage or something. But still, you know, 20 km range is there. But up to 8 km you have the full damage. They're extremely fast with 83 knots, and detectability with 1.8 is not the best. However, due to the insane speed, the reaction time is still fairly low. When it comes to depth charges, nothing too special, just like any DD. And when it comes to AA power, it didn't feel that good when it shot, but again, it's also nothing too spectacular. I think the DPS is actually fairly good for Destroyer, but nothing too thrilling, like nowhere near like a Halland, Ragnar, and so on. And when it comes to maneuverability, we have 43 knots, more on that later. 770 meters turning circle, a pretty bad rudder shift of 4.3. For DD standards, that's not the best. However, you are extremely fast with 43 knots. And looking at the concealment, we are at 6.3. Now the thing is, 43 knots base speed is already insane. But this ship also gets a 20% speed boost. Meaning you're talking about 51-ish, 52 knots of speed, which is absolutely crazy. And the speed boost goes with our build over 4 minutes. Or just below 4 minutes, sorry, for 234 seconds, which is crazy. Now, that being not enough, and you having 12 torpedoes as I state here, you have a torpedo reload booster consumable as well, meaning you have, if you for example need to YOLO 2 targets, you need all your torpedoes for 1. You have then 8 seconds torpedo reload booster time to get your torps up again fully. And then you have also defensive AA, which is a nice gimmick I guess, but nothing more. Now, when it comes to the build, I actually went for the wargaming approach here, what they said, just to try it out a bit. Basically, pretty standard, preventive maintenance, last stand, survivability expert, and concealment expert are usually some standard builds. And then they wanted to get the torpedo speed up, the reload, and BFT here, because the gun arcs are pretty bad, so you don't really want to go with AFT or Fearless Brawler. So I use this for now. Alternatively, you could also drop this. You could drop Swift Fish, maybe for, I don't know, longer speed boost. Or you could drop Main Battery AA Specialist for Superintendent to get another torpedo reload booster out. But that's up to you. You could maybe theoretically even run Swift and Silence to be even faster. But then we're talking about 55 knots while not being spotted, which is kind of cracked. But yeah, when it comes to the consumables here, obviously torpedo survivability. Then we have the speed boost coal mod. Here we have also more speed on the torpedoes. You can alternatively also run aiming system, propulsion, concealment, and here I have the main battery mod, where you could alternatively also run torpedo tubes. That's up to you. I think the torpedo tube reload with 90 seconds is more than good enough though. And yeah, again, crazy boat, and let's go into the battle now with it. I'm usually not the biggest fan of torpedo DDs, in all honesty. However, when they have somewhat okayish gun performance, or they have some really crazy-ish torpedo mechanic, then I also do recommend them. But usually, I'm a big man when it comes to hybrid DDs. Like, they're pretty good in gun regards, but also decent in torpedo regards. And this thing is more torpedo-focused DD. However, it still does have okayish guns. Like, the guns are not as bad as you would think. The reload is the alpha might be not the best, but the reload is pretty good, and you have a huge HP pool of over 30,000 HP to trade as well, plus French saturation, which makes it extremely survivable. All right, let's go. There we go. We have our first battle now, and not wondering with the account name, this is my press account because I don't have the ship on my main account yet, as it's not live. 62,000 RB points, by the way. And there we go. We're gonna play it fairly aggressive here. The Kita is probably gonna go to C-cap. We're gonna play it fairly aggressive on the outside here. See how the battle develops. Maybe even YOLO DD, I don't know, we'll see. Or YOLO ship. Like, again, this ship, look at this. The torpedo angles are absolutely insane, the forward angles. And even to the back, they're not bad. Like, even if you drive away, you're on a defensive approach, you have to disengage, you still have pretty good torpedo angles to the back as well. But having the ability to just run somebody down around the corner, or wait for somebody around the corner and then just launch this, is crazy. The only thing you have to pay attention to is, you have a 750 meter arming time for torps. So this is a pretty big arming distance for DD, in case you're wondering. So you have to launch them quite early to not be within the arming distance and do 0 damage. Alright, let's go. Here we go, 51.3 knots, that's the speed. With Swift and Silence we would talk around 54-ish something, nearly 55. And that's for nearly 4 minutes, guys. So that's kind of cracked if you ask me. One thing I hate though is it does promote also some YOLOing, and I think it's gonna be very bad for random battles, as people don't really care about trading effectively. They all go for the 1-for-1 trade. So you will have a lot of situations where Chateaurenault will just throw his ship away, unfortunately, and not do too much other than that. Here, for example, we're gonna play it fairly defensive for now. I'm gonna launch torpedo here, I'm gonna launch torpedo here, and we're already gonna turn away. We're not gonna fully overextend here. And we're gonna go into this channel and playing it more safe. Like, you don't have to rush somebody down. Again, you have 20 km. You do have damage drop off at 8 km-ish, but still more than enough range. We're gonna chill here for a second. And if he, for example, eats a flood, that's the thing. Even if you hit somebody at 20 km, if it's a potential flood, that can scale up quite significantly when it comes to the damage. Let's see if the Columbo is actually going to eat something. Or is he going to be in one of those gaps? There's the Alaska, alright. Oh, and there we go. 8.6k damage at like around 10-ish kilometers. And we got a flood. He DCP'd though. And here's the thing now. What I can do is I'm just gonna activate... No, can we do it? No, I don't think we can. He's gonna be in cover. I was thinking about going for the reload booster, but we're reloaded anyway soon. Now we can get a permafire though. Hello! Nah, no fire. You did see how fast the guns shoot though, so even though you have pretty low alpha, it's still quite decent when it comes to gun reload. Now I could still run down here and rush the Alaska, but I want to play it a bit safer for now. And actually I know Columbo's gonna come out here at some point, so we're gonna get ready for that. That's the Alaska radar, alright. To be expected. Jäger just launched the torpedoes. In fact, I'm already gonna rotate to C cap because this cap should be kind of one. Oh, that smoke screen is a bit sus. Okay, I'm gonna launch the torpedoes here and here. We're gonna park here real quick to get the cap because nobody else is testing it. The ship stops fairly decently, considering the size from full speed. There is the Colombo. I'm gonna turn a bit of music on. Torps look pretty good. Yeah, I think we're gonna get one. We're gonna get one. Yeah, looks pretty good. Nice. As you can see, the damage drop up is fairly big from the get-go already. So keep that in mind. Like, the damage drop-off is stronger than in Cassard, I think, when it comes to the torps. Now, theoretically, I could actually YOLO the Colombo here because he's smoked up, and that's something we're gonna do. You know what? We're gonna go for the Colombo. We have so much HP, we wanna also YOLO somebody. What's the fire chance on the boat? 5%. Yo, what the hell was with the guns there? We still have some torps left. We F this up. We're gonna eat 2. Yeah. The saturation kicked in though. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. This was dumb. See, this is kind of the thing. I shouldn't have done it. I should have known that there's also DD waiting. Yeah, the double flood is really painful now. I'm gonna go for one more. I'm gonna show this still to you because it's good to see also a fuck up. I should have stick to my original plan and gone to C cap. This was kind of dumb. I should have known that one of the ships is potentially here. That was a dumb thing. If it wouldn't be for the Jäger, fair enough. Then we can potentially do it, but even then he can run away. You want to really use these YOLOing approaches only if they're committed. Here, for example, he was going like this with the Colombo, but when I turned in, he was already slowly turning away. And then you don't catch the people. So you really have to catch them when they're nose into you. Otherwise, it's just suicidal. And considering the Jäger was also there, not the optimal. But again, it's good to show these fuck-ups as well to you, because this was fully my fault. We should have stick to the plan and just go to B and hammer them there. That would have been a way better gameplay decision. Also keep in mind you can run up Oberno on him, and then when you have 2 million potential, you get an even better speed boost, I think. And you have speed boost it was, and if you cap, you also get plus 1% fire chance. So don't underestimate that. There we go. Now we're going. Oh. What the fuck? Oh my god. Okay. The second game is a bit sus, but hey. We got a triple Valperdiv. Some people really love to see the world burn. Anyway, doesn't change about the beginning, the opening of this game. We're gonna go to C cap now. And don't judge really the game of the first game of the performance of the ship. That goes fully on me. I should have stick to B cap. It was a terrible mistake to try the YOLO there. In general, even without the Jäger, going into a Harugumo, was it Harugumo? No, Kitakaze, I think. Or Harugumo, I'm not sure. Alaska and Colombo is pretty suicidal. We should have just stick to B, kill the DD there, and then torp the Musashi. So that really goes on me. I'm gonna include the first game though, because obviously you should also learn from F-ups. Alright, let's go. We're gonna go to C cap now. You can actually rush into it at the beginning. What you can do also is, at the beginning, you can just launch your first torpedo set as soon as it's reloaded to also potentially block approaches from DDs. Because when I played this boat before, I had a lot of random hits at 17 km suddenly. Because of people not realizing this thing has 20 km torpedo range. And also one downside, I haven't really mentioned this, the third turret has an extremely bad gun angle. Like, you will not use it that perfectly. This is the gun angle for the third turret, which is pretty bad. Alright, I'm gonna launch one torpedo here, one torpedo here. We're gonna launch one here and one here, and now we're already on the turn. Okay, there's the triple Valpa diff, alright. In case you're wondering, by the way, why I didn't use the AP on the Jaeger, is it's such a small target to hit. So, not optimal, to say the least. Here, however, on the Sharky, I'm instantly gonna use the AP as long as he shows broadside. And here's also a thing, there you can see how good the AP alpha is. Here's also the thing where I'm a bit undecided if I might want to go with gun accuracy. And it's also good that a good example of this ship also being pretty good as a gun DD, like, or not pretty good, but okayish as a gun DD. You can fairly trade with a lot of DDs pretty decently. However, there's something else here. There's another DD here, otherwise I wouldn't be spotted the whole time. The Minagumo, alright. Nice, we got one torpedo hit on the main. Big. On these ranges, however, you want to stick to the HG, of course. There's no way you want to shoot AP at like plus 10 km.
Torpille à bâbord.
Now the Sharky is a Z52 for most people that might not know the ship. Meaning he probably has Hydra on, but we're still gonna try to get him out of the smoke screen. We're gonna use our torpedo booster here as well. The Minigumo is still pushing toward. No, it's the Sharky, okay. The thing is, he's trading it really badly. Like, there's no way he's gonna win this fight in a 1v1 against me, because look at my HP advantage. It's just crazy how much HP this boat has.
Dégâts critiques au moteur. Problème résolu, chef.
The real problem for me is his health, though. I don't have nowhere near as good health, so we need to disengage here. But I would win pretty easily against the Z at the moment. You saw how well we trade against him. Although I must admit, this guy has a pretty good aim. Still, no chance against me in that regard. There we got 2 torpedo hits here on the Valpa. Nice. And then it adds up over time. Now, of course, we have to play it extremely defensive here because, well, there's 3 Valpas pushing into us. But you get the idea. I hope I can get close fire on this man. That would be very, very nice right now. And then a DCP. No, it doesn't look like it. Torpedoes look pretty good though. Looks like 1 maybe. Oh, he stops. He saw it. Meh. Close enough though. Here the good torpedo angles to the back also come into place. Even in scenarios like this, where they push into us, where our torpedo launchers are in the front, we can still torp them fairly decently. Nice, the Elving got one. Big. And keep in mind we have 20 cam range on these torps. So you will see a lot of random hits occurring on ranges where you wouldn't even think it's possible.
Boost des moteurs activé.
Alright, 2 are down, 2 are down. Fair enough. Definitely still doable. I would love to show you the full 20k of the torpedoes, but for that we can't play it too aggressive at the moment. The Minegumo is somewhere around here and the Sharky is coming probably back as well. So I need to play it fairly defensive here, unfortunately. Maybe I can get the main here. Nah, there's another random torpedo hits. So you see the torpedo hits are adding up and quite fast actually. We're gonna launch one and then piss off again. And now we're running away again. It feels kind of a bit like a submarine because you can launch the torps this far forward.
Torpille par l'arrière.
Let's say hello to them. Hello boys, I am here. And these are full damage torpedoes, by the way. It kind of reminds me of like turning the whole time like a Benham player, you know? Like those filthy Benhams. That's how it feels a bit. Because it's this never-ending torpedo volley. With the exception that you have an F-ton of HP. There we go. We hit the torpedo belt here. If this one hits in the front, we're gonna get the flooding. Can also start thinking about getting a permafire on this man. There we go, there's the flood. Nice. Very big. Good. We are out of Valpa's range. And good luck for main to hit a 50 knot car. Down. The Valpas are not putting too much pressure, like not enough pressure right now to win the game, but it's close. We just lost 2 ships. We also got our combat scout with 150k damage. That's also a thing. Since you don't have a smoke screen and you do play it a bit like a torpedo boat, you will get some insane spotting numbers up as well, which should not be underestimated. And again, while the gun alpha is not the best, you do have crazy reload. And the AP alpha, to be fair, is not bad. The LP alpha is really not that bad. There's our fire, nice. Now I'm just gonna start farming them with guns for as long as we can here. Obviously, I'm not gonna rush the Valpa player around the corner with torpedoes because he does have the secondaries and that would farm us pretty fast at these ranges. Gonna go with AP on the back here. Both Valpers are dead. Nice, and we can cap now B-cap. Oh! Hello, Mr. Sharky. Here I would only use 2 guns. Why did I only use 2 guns instead of third? Because he shot AP and I don't want that the Z gets the full pens on me. Because the full pens are kind of cracked when they arm. And now we're gonna get B. Oh. There's already the next one. The reason I'm launching the Peats here is because That's faster than shooting the guns here. Here you want to use AP now, the AP full pens. So we should be still able to trade with him with this insane reload we have. Yeah, look at the AP damage. And there we go. We also got him. I did not expect that they all sit there on one spot, to be honest. Plus one Horst. Yeah, keep in mind this is my press account, so I'm called Horst the Battleship in German. And there we go. That they're all here is kind of crazy. But as you can see, it is a fairly decent ship in that regard. It survives a ton of damage because we have that HP pool. The gun performance of the AP when you can shoot broadside DDs is actually really decent. And you have pretty good torpedoes. Yeah, and you also have French shot duration. It should be... I don't know if it's gonna be on Wednesday or Thursday. It should be released in Research Pyro for 62k. I definitely recommend this. I do like it. I do like this boat a lot. I admit to you, it's one of the torpedo boats where I see myself playing it more often because you have the gun performance as well, and you kind of have this ridiculous forward torpedo angling. So, give me a second. I just want to quickly fix the webcam. So overall, that gets a recommendation from me. Now, of course, it's nowhere near the best tier 10 DD or something, but it's a lot of fun. It's fun and it's pretty strong. I see a lot of scenarios which I couldn't even showcase you in these two games now, which could also be vital. Like, for example, imagine you're sitting here, you're blocking a cap, and the guy has to push you, but you will always get the torpedoes off first. And then, of course, you can also surprise people. With the torpedo reload booster, you could even potentially get a double kill. So, yeah. If I wouldn't have played it this dump in the first match and would have stick to my plan, that could have been also probably a pretty decent game. And now, let me know you. By the way, guys, let me know what you think under the comments of the video. Like, what would you think about the Chateaurenault? I think it's a pretty fun car. It's something unique. I definitely see it, how you can make it work. It's not the easiest ship to play, that's for sure, because a lot of people will, as I stated my first match, will try to go for YOLO and then instantly throw the ship away. Or a lot of people will stay in the back completely, like, and topping nearly at 20 km, doing no real impact. So you have to find a good threshold with it. And you have to realize you don't have a smoke screen. Your best survivability is your insane HP pool and your speed. But yeah, let me know in the comments under the YouTube video what you think about it. I think it's a funny little torpedo speed monster, yeah. How fast are the torps? 83 knots with the build we have right now. 83 knots. I'm just waiting to see the result here in the end. And see if I'm gonna be first or not. I mean, we have a lot of DD damage, we have Combat Scout. We didn't really get the cap at the beginning, but that's mainly because 2 DDs blocked it instantly. Alright. Now I just need to wait until my people here kill the Coming and the Cassard. I mean, theoretically, the game is still losable. But I just believe that my Elbing is not that dumb. Plus the Friedrich Grosse is still a DCP ready, alright. Coming is in the smokescreen caught, so that's over for him. Yeah, I don't think the Coming player left the smoke. I think he's caught there now. Also, now we can officially say we have the first car in the game, the Renault. Now I can actually call the ship a car. Yeah, this man is dead. At least you would think so. Now there's only Cassard left. Full HP Minnesota, full HP Smolensk. Somewhat alive Elbing should be enough to win the game now, yeah. And they know where if they paid attention, the torps came from here, so the Cassard must be here. Yeah, there he is. That's the thing also, guys. Pay attention to, in these scenarios, where did the torps come from? Then you know exactly where he is. What's French saturation? Basically, how can I describe French saturation the best? You take less damage overall on saturated parts. You take faster, less damage on saturated parts. So basically, in World of Warships, you have different sections of the ship. That's the color you usually see, for example, that gets dirty when you shoot it. So if you, for example, shoot the bow and stern, or the superstructure, you will, at some point, you will get less and less damage, because the area is saturated, like the HP pool of the area is pretty much gone. And in the case of French DDs, that kicks in way earlier. So you are pretty survivable when it comes to this. You eat overall less damage overall. Good. Cassard is gonna miss the torpedoes again. We're gonna get the third cap and then the game is over. Very, very nice. But I do like the Chateaurenault. Chateaurenault. I really do. I think it's a fun boat. I've played it 3 games before it. I'm sorry for the first game, but I also want to include some mistakes, so you learn from them as well. Nobody's perfect in that regard. But I played 3 games before this already, and I do like the ship a lot. I think it's a fun boat. I think it's crazy with the torpedoes to the front. That's Chateaurenault for you. I see myself, I really see myself, this is one of the boats that I can play a lot without getting bored of it. And that's usually a good sign. Oh, I'll be damned. Are we throwing the game? Nah, there's no way, right? Nah, he can't go dark now. There's no way he's gonna survive the Smolensk now. Although it would be crazy. And there we go. Good. Game is over. Well done, guys. I'm gonna give all of them that were alive at the end a compliment, because where's the Elving? Yeah. And there we go. We got only 2. Alright. I did expect a bit better, but what are we looking at? 2k base XP? Yeah, then again, to be fair, DD base XP is also a bit lower. But still, second in the team. I'll take it after the Smolensk. Alright. Combat Scout, 128k damage. If you look at this, you can see we did quite some damage to the Minigomo. We killed the Z pretty much full HP. And then a lot of damage on the mains and the Valparaisos. So, GG. That was Chateaurenault for you. Again, if you like the content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe under YouTube. It would really help me a ton. And tell me your thoughts under the comments as well. What do you think about Chateaurenault? I think it's a pretty fun boat, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye-bye.